welcome back to Comic Beyond. In this episode, we're going to be doing our second to last episode for the Alien Predator superhero comic crossovers that we've been covering this summer. Yeah, we're coming to the end now, and I wanted to do the Batman vs. Predator 2 comic, or do an overview of it anyway. This is a really good comic. I highly recommend it. And another one of my favorite characters pops up into this comic is Huntress. Now, it's interesting that they put Huntress in this, just because I think they only did it because of her name. You got predators that are hunters. He's in the city hunting. And what character do we have but Huntress? So, she plays an interesting part in this book. It's a good follow-up to the last one, the first Batman versus Predator book. The first one's a classic. It's one of my favorite crossovers, apart from it being, affiliated with Dark Horse and all that stuff. It's just two of my favorite things put together, and that's one of the things I love about crossovers, is things you wouldn't normally see, probably in any other medium but a comic. But it was a good read. It's, 4 issues, I think 4 issues it was. So it's one issue longer than the first one, but it's the basic story, I guess, carrying over, like I said, from the first one. So you got a predator that goes rogue. He's infatuated with hunting Batman just because of the events of the first book. He thinks he's a better predator, and he's in even though they have, I guess, rules in place that you don't go to Gotham since the last story. He goes rogue and he goes anyway. And of course, you got your mafia aspect, you got Huntress, you got, these really bad assassins. They're terrible. You got Batman doing his thing. So you got this rogue predator coming after Batman. It's got cool moments in it. There's a few where it's kind of just weird, like he rips the predator, he rips the bat signal off the GCPD building, and he has to use equipment to rip it off, but yet he's able to carry it, muscle it off the building, but he wasn't able to pick it up. So it was kind of silly in moments, but pretty good follow-up. Huntress's character is cool in it. I am a fan of her. I liked her in this. Her and Batman in this, I think they had a good back and forth, a good appeal. Batman in this is interesting. One of my favorite scenes is Alfred asking, because, they're dealing with the same problem they had before, if he wanted him to get the bat armor suit that Batman used in the first one. And he says no, he's working on something different. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you built this in the first story in order to fight a predator. Well, you got a ruthless predator coming after you. Like, he's really, he wants your head. And you don't want to use your one armor, your one bat suit that might help you in your fight against the predator. So I found that funny. It was just, I guess, the creators were, they just wanted to do like a throwaway, like, here it is, but not really. So it was a fun moment. Alfred doesn't get to use his elephant gun in this, unfortunately. But, I really enjoyed it. It's a good follow-up. It's not on my top 10 crossover list, but it's one of my favorite, I guess, comics. The third one I've never read. I've read on multiple different things. I've heard mixed feelings about it, but I am intrigued to check it out. So it is possible we'll get to the third entry in this series. I personally feel like they probably should have stopped after 1, maybe stopped after 2, but we did get a third one, and it's possible that we'll check that out on this channel. But yeah, it's worth the read. This, I don't know if they got in trade, but it's possible they do got a trade that has all 3 of them. I'm not sure, but because I got the single issues. So, Comixology would probably be your best bet to check it out, unless you want to go online to like eBay or something like that, just buy single issues. That's what I did. You can get them fairly decent price. I think the only one I had trouble finding maybe was the third or fourth, for whatever reason. But yeah, it's out there if you want to check it out. Again, I always say this, but if you're a Predator fan, you'll enjoy it. Batman fan, or just fan of comics in general, and you just want to have a fun read, I highly recommend it. So the next episode we're probably going to have, I started the little Alien Predator marathon thing with Overkill, which was Witchblade and Darkness taking on the Predator and aliens, which I really like that story too. But our next episode next week will probably be Mindhunter, and that's actually the sequel to Overkill. So I'm kind of bookending it. So I was going to make this the last episode, but I'm actually going to stretch our little Predator Alien Marathon out one more episode, and we're actually going to cover the Witchblade Hunter episode. So stay tuned for that. Again, check this book out. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.